It was just another late-night shift at the diner, the hum of the coffee machine, the clinking of plates, the occasional laugh from a tired trucker stopping for a meal. But for 22-year-old waitress Emily Carter, that night would be the last time anyone ever saw her. One moment she was refilling a customer's coffee, the next, gone. No struggle, no goodbye, just an empty apron slumped over a chair and a half-written order left on her notepad. The police searched for months, but the case went cold until 3 years later, when her grieving mother made a chilling discovery, inside a dish. But this story isn't just about a disappearance. It's about the unexpected connections that change lives forever. Like 17-year-old Jamal Thompson, who never imagined a simple act of kindness, giving up his bus seat to a pregnant white woman, would lead to a note that rewrote his future. What did it say? And how could these two stories, separated by time and tragedy, possibly be linked? The truth is stranger than anything you could imagine. Because sometimes, the smallest moments, a missing waitress, a stranger's gratitude, hold secrets that unravel in ways no one sees coming. By the end of this, you'll question every coincidence, every fleeting encounter, because nothing is ever as random as it seems. So, what really happened to Emily? And what did Jamal's note reveal? Stick around, because the answers will leave you speechless. Emily Carter wasn't the kind of person who just vanished. She was the type who remembered your coffee order before you even sat down, who always had a warm smile no matter how exhausting her shift had been. The Rusty Spoon Diner, where she worked, was one of those 24-hour places where the regulars became family, truckers, night owls, cops grabbing a meal before patrol. That's why when she disappeared, the whole town felt it. One minute, she was chatting with Old Man Higgins about his usual black coffee, scrambled eggs, extra toast, and the next, she was gone. No scream, no sign of a struggle, just an eerie silence where she should have been. The security camera above the register blinked out for exactly 37 seconds, just long enough for someone to slip in, or out. Her mother, Linda, never gave up. While the police moved on to other cases, she kept searching, putting up flyers, calling every tip line, even hiring a private investigator when the savings ran dry. 3 years of dead ends, of sleepless nights staring at Emily's childhood photos, wondering if she'd ever see her daughter again. Then, one rainy Tuesday, Linda was cleaning out Emily's old things, something she'd avoided for years, when she found it. A single, chipped diner plate tucked in the back of the cupboard, one Emily had taken home to paint as a gift for her birthday. Linda turned it over, and there, scrawled in faded marker on the back, were 2 words, ***, check the deliveries. ***. Meanwhile, 300 miles away, Jamal Thompson was just trying to get through senior year. He worked part-time at a grocery store, helped his mom with rent, and dreamed of going to college, though he had no idea how he'd afford it. Then, one crowded bus ride changed everything. A pregnant woman, her belly round under a thin coat, stepped on, gripping the rail like she might collapse. Jamal didn't think twice, he stood up, nodded to her, and moved aside. The woman's eyes welled up with gratitude. She sat down, whispered a quiet *thank you*, and as she got off at her stop, she pressed a folded note into his hand. Jamal didn't open it right away. He figured it was just a sweet message, maybe a God bless you. But when he finally unfolded it later that night, his hands shook. ***, if you ever need help, call this number. Tell them Sarah sent you. ***, below it was a phone number, and an address for a law firm downtown. What did a random act of kindness have to do with a missing waitress? At first glance, nothing. But secrets have a way of threading through lives in ways we don't see. Because the pregnant woman on that bus, Sarah, wasn't just a stranger. She was the last person to see Emily alive. The night Emily vanished, Sarah had been sitting at the counter, nursing a cup of tea, watching the clock like she was waiting for someone. The security footage showed them talking, just briefly, before the camera cut out. But when police questioned Sarah, she claimed she'd left before anything happened. She had an alibi, a husband, a job, a life that didn't seem to connect to Emily's disappearance. Until now. Back in her kitchen, Linda traced the words on the plate with trembling fingers. *check the deliveries. Emily had been working the night shift for months, always complaining about the weird deliveries that came after midnight, boxes that weren't food, men in unmarked vans who refused to sign the logbook. She'd mentioned it to her manager, who brushed it off. Just suppliers running late, he'd said. But Emily wasn't the type to let things go. She'd started writing things down, dates, times, license plate numbers, in a little notebook she kept in her apron. A notebook that was never found. Jamal stared at the note in his hands, torn between curiosity and fear. Something about it felt heavy. Like it wasn't just a thank you. He dialed the number, half expecting it to be disconnected. Instead, a calm voice answered on the second ring. Law offices of Brennan and Wright. How can I help you? Jamal froze. Why would a pregnant woman give him a lawyer's number? And why did the name Wright sound so familiar? Because Linda Carter's maiden name was Wright. And the private investigator she'd hired 3 years ago, his name was Brennan. The threads were there, hidden in plain sight. A missing waitress. A mysterious note. A diner with secrets buried in its deliveries. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Sarah, the pregnant woman who knew more than she'd ever admitted. But the biggest question still hung in the air, unanswered. Where was Emily? Because if Sarah was connected, if the diner was involved, then Jamal wasn't just holding a random act of kindness in his hands. He was holding a clue. And clues can be dangerous. Jamal sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the note like it might burn him. The law office's name, Brennan and Wright, echoed in his head. He'd never heard of them, but something about it felt too deliberate to ignore. His thumb hovered over his phone screen, torn between calling back and tossing the note away. But curiosity won. He took a deep breath and dialed again. This time, a different voice answered, older, sharper. Brennan speaking. Jamal hesitated. Tell them Sarah sent you. The words stuck in his throat. Why would Sarah send him here? What did she think he needed help with? Before he could second-guess himself, he blurted it out. Sarah sent me. Silence. Then, a slow exhale. Meet me tomorrow. 10 a.m. Don't tell anyone. The line went dead before Jamal could ask a single question. Meanwhile, Linda Carter stood in the dim light of her kitchen, clutching the plate like a lifeline. Check the deliveries. Emily had known something. Maybe even something that got her taken. Her hands shook as she pulled out her phone and dialed the only person she trusted, Brennan, the private investigator who had worked her case before giving up. Linda? Brennan's voice was rough with sleep. It's 3 in the morning. I found something. She whispered. Emily left a message. She said to check the deliveries at the diner. A beat of silence. Then, I'll be there in an hour. The Rusty Spoon Diner was eerily quiet before dawn. Linda sat in Brennan's car, watching as he flipped through old case files. We looked into the deliveries back then. He muttered. But the manager swore everything was legit. No odd shipments, no strange men. He lied. Linda said firmly. Emily wouldn't have written that if there wasn't something wrong. Brennan rubbed his jaw. Only one way to find out. He nodded toward the diner's back door, where the night crew was just finishing up. We need to see those delivery logs. Jamal showed up at the law office exactly at 10, heart pounding. The building was older, tucked between a pawn shop and a boarded-up storefront. The inside was all dark wood and dusty files. A man in a rumpled suit, Brennan, stood waiting. You're the kid from the bus, he said, eyes narrowing. Sarah shouldn't have involved you. Jamal stiffened. Involved me in what ? Brennan exhaled, then slid a file across the desk. Inside were photos, security stills from the diner the night Emily disappeared. One showed Sarah at the counter, her face tense. Another showed a shadowy figure near the back door. But the last one made Jamal's blood run cold. It was him. Well, not him but a guy who looked just like him. Same height, same build. The resemblance was uncanny. Who is that? Jamal whispered. Brennan's voice was grim. His name is Darius Cole. And if Sarah gave you that note, it's because she thinks you're in danger too. Back at the diner, Linda and Brennan slipped into the manager's office while the staff was distracted. The delivery logs were shoved in a drawer, half finished and smudged with grease. Linda flipped through them, her pulse racing. Then she saw it. Every Thursday night for months before Emily vanished, the same unmarked van had made deliveries. No company name. No signature. Just a scrawled note, for the back. This isn't food. Linda breathed. What were they bringing in? Brennan's face darkened. Nothing good. Jamal left the law office with his head spinning. Darius Cole. A guy who looked like him. A missing waitress. A diner with shady deliveries. None of it made sense. But then his phone buzzed. An unknown number. A single text. They know you have the note. Don't go home. Jamal's breath caught. Who were they? And what the hell had he just walked into? That night, Linda sat in her car outside the diner, watching as the same unmarked van from the logs pulled up. Two men got out, carrying a heavy crate inside. Her fingers tightened on the steering wheel. She had to know what was in it. She had to know what happened to Emily. But as she reached for her phone to call Brennan, a shadow moved in her rearview mirror. Someone was watching her. The pieces were coming together, but the truth was still out of reach. A law office with ties to the past. A diner hiding secrets. A missing girl. A lookalike stranger. And Jamal, stuck in the middle with no idea why. One thing was certain, none of this was a coincidence. And the deeper they dug, the more dangerous it got. The rain came down in sheets as Jamal sprinted down the darkened alley, his sneakers splashing through oily puddles. The text warning him not to go home had been right. He'd barely rounded the corner to his apartment building when he saw them. Two men in black jackets lingering near the entrance, their eyes scanning the street like hunters. He didn't wait to find out what they wanted. Now his lungs burned as he ducked behind a dumpster, phone clutched in his shaking hand. Brennan's number stared back at him. One call. That's all it would take. But would dragging this lawyer deeper into whatever mess he'd stumbled into make things better or worse? Inside the Rusty Spoon storage room, Linda held her breath as the delivery men hauled the crate past her hiding spot. The sharp scent of bleach couldn't quite mask something else, something metallic. Her fingers dug into the shelf beside her as the men pried open the crate. The dim light glinted off rows of small, carefully packaged vials. Not food. Not supplies. Medicine. Drugs. One of the men pulled out a phone and muttered, "Tell Cole the shipment's clean. No problems since the Carter girl." Linda's blood turned to ice. Sarah paced her living room, one hand resting on her rounded belly, the other gripping a burner phone. She'd messed up. That note was supposed to go to Brennan, not some random kid on the bus. But when she saw Jamal's face, so much like Darius's at that age, she'd acted on instinct. Now Darius's men were tearing the city apart looking for him. The baby kicked sharply, as if warning her. She had to fix this before more people got hurt. Before what happened to Emily happened to someone else. Brennan's office door burst open just as he was packing files into a briefcase. Jamal stood dripping in the doorway, wild-eyed. "They're following me," he gasped. "And I think I know why." He shoved his phone at Brennan. The screen showed a faded newspaper clipping, a young Darius Cole standing outside a courthouse, his arm around a beaming woman. The resemblance was unmistakable. "That's my grandmother," Jamal whispered. "Which makes Darius Cole my..." His voice broke. At the diner, Linda's hand flew to her mouth as the delivery men pulled something else from the crate, a familiar pink sneaker, crusted with dirt. Emily's favorite pair. The one she was wearing the night she disappeared. The men laughed as one tossed it into a trash bag. Should have dug deeper, girl, he muttered. Linda's vision tunneled. She reached for the fire extinguisher on the wall. Across town, Sarah stared at the positive pregnancy test in her trembling hands, not hers. Emily's. The one she'd found hidden in the diner's bathroom the night everything went wrong. The night she'd promised to help but failed. The baby monitor crackled to life, picking up sounds from the nursery next door. Not her baby's coos. Men's voices. They were already inside. Jamal watched Brennan's face go pale as the lawyer connected the dots. Darius isn't just your uncle, Brennan said slowly. He's the reason Emily disappeared. And if he finds out who you are. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. Too close. Brennan grabbed his keys. We need to get to the diner. Now. Linda swung the fire extinguisher with all her strength. The crash echoed through the storage room as the metal connected with skull. One man went down hard. The other lunged at her, but she was already running, the pink sneaker clutched to her chest. She burst through the back door into the storm just as headlights flared to life in the alley. Not Brennan's car. A black van with tinted windows. Sarah's front door splintered open. Brennan's car skidded around the corner just as Linda stumbled into the street. And Jamal, staring at the family photo on his phone, finally understood he wasn't just a bystander in this nightmare. He was the key to ending it. Somewhere in the city, a newborn cried as a shadowy figure lifted it from its crib. The storm raged on. The black van's headlights blinded Linda as she stumbled backward, Emily's muddy sneaker still clutched in her shaking hands. The side door slid open with a metallic groan, revealing a silhouette that made her blood run cold. Not one of the delivery men, someone taller, broader, with a stance that screamed authority. You shouldn't have come back here, Linda, Darius Cole's voice rumbled through the rain. Behind him, a whimper cut through the storm, a sound Linda would know anywhere. Emily's voice. Weak. Afraid. But alive. Jamal recoiled as Brennan slammed the brakes, their car fishtailing on the wet pavement. That's him, Brennan hissed, hand already reaching for the glove compartment. Darius has Linda. But Jamal wasn't looking at the van anymore. His eyes were locked on the passenger seat of Darius's vehicle, where Sarah sat rigid, a gun barrel pressed to her temple by a man with prison tattoos. The pieces crashed together. Sarah hadn't just witnessed Emily's disappearance. She'd been forced to help cover it up. And now Darius was using her baby as leverage. Inside the diner's shattered storage room, the knocked-out delivery man groaned, his fingers brushing against the spilled contents of the crate. Vials rolled across the floor, their labels glinting under the emergency lights. *** Fertility Solutions Incorporated. ** beneath them, Polaroids showed rows of hospital beds, pregnant women with hollow eyes. This wasn't just a drug operation. It was something far worse. Darius stepped into the downpour, his gold watch glinting as he gestured to Linda. 3 years you've been searching, he said, almost gently. But Emily didn't run away. She was working for me. He snapped his fingers, and a figure shuffled forward from the van's shadows, emaciated, hollow-cheeked, but undeniably Emily. Her wrists bore fresh needle marks. Turns out our girl had rare O-negative blood, Darius continued. Perfect for incubating high-value pregnancies. Like Sarah's. Linda's scream tore through the night as she finally understood the deliveries weren't bringing drugs into the diner. They were taking pregnant women out. Brennan's gun clicked as he cocked it, but Jamal grabbed his arm. Wait, his mind raced. The photo. The family connection. The missing piece that could unravel everything. Darius isn't just trafficking women, Jamal breathed. He's breeding them. And that baby Sarah's carrying? He met Brennan's horrified gaze. It's not hers. It's Emily's. A gunshot cracked through the storm. Sarah collapsed onto the wet asphalt, blood blooming across her shoulder as her kidnapper's grip faltered. In the chaos, Emily lunged, not toward Linda, but at Darius's back, a shattered vial glinting in her hand. You took 3 years from me, she rasped, pressing the glass to his throat. Now I take everything from you. Somewhere in the city, a police scanner crackled to life. *** all units, code amber. Newborn abduction in progress. ***. The van's engine roared to life. And in the diner's ruined storage room, one last vial rolled into the light, labeled with a name that would blow the case wide open. The shattered vial pressed against Darius's throat trembled in Emily's hand as the rain mixed with the blood dripping from her split lip. You thought I wouldn't figure it out, she whispered, her voice raw from years of silence. That I wouldn't recognize my own baby's cry coming from Sarah's nursery? Behind them, the black van's tires screeched as it started pulling away, with Linda now trapped inside, pounding against the tinted windows. Jamal moved before he could think, sprinting toward the moving van with Brennan shouting after him. As his fingers grazed the rear bumper, the side door flew open, revealing a terrified young girl, no older than 16, cradling a newborn wrapped in a diner apron. The same apron Emily had been wearing the night she disappeared. Please, the girl sobbed, thrusting the baby toward Jamal. He made us carry them in food delivery boxes. They were taking them to. A gunshot cut her off. The girl collapsed as Darius's bodyguard took aim again, this time at the wailing infant in Jamal's arms. Brennan's return fire sent the shooter stumbling back, but not before a bullet grazed Jamal's shoulder. He fell to his knees, instinctively curling his body around the baby as the van careened into the night. Emily saw it all happen in slow motion, her mother disappearing in the van, Jamal bleeding on the pavement, the newborn's piercing cries cutting through the storm. Something inside her snapped. With a scream fueled by 3 years of stolen life, she drove the broken glass deep into Darius's jugular. His gold watch smashed against the pavement as he gurgled, "You'll never find all the others." Emily finished for him, wiping blood from her face with shaking hands. She reached into her tattered uniform pocket and pulled out a waterlogged notebook, the one the police had never found. I kept records of every girl. Every baby. Every delivery date. Sirens wailed in the distance as she turned to see Jamal gently rocking the newborn, his own blood mixing with the rain on the baby's blanket. The final twist came when the infant's tiny hand grasped Jamal's finger and the birthmark on its wrist matched the one in Jamal's childhood photos. The same mark Darius had. The truth hit them all at once. This wasn't just Emily's baby. It was Darius's heir. His insurance policy. The reason he'd needed Emily's rare blood type in the first place. As police swarmed the scene, paramedic rushed to take the infant from Jamal's arms. But Emily stopped them with a look. "No," she said quietly, her eyes meeting Jamal's. "He stays with family." In the chaos of flashing lights and shouting officers, no one noticed Sarah slip away into the storm, her hospital bracelet glinting as she clutched a vial labeled Fertility Solutions in her good hand. The real mastermind always covers their tracks. And in the wreckage of the Rusty Spoon diner, the last untouched delivery crate sat waiting, its contents ticking softly like a clock running out of time. The rain finally stopped as dawn broke over the city, washing the blood from the pavement but not the memories from our minds. Jamal sat stiffly in a hospital chair, his bandaged shoulder throbbing as he watched Emily sleep across the room. The baby, his cousin, though the word still felt strange, slept in a clear bassinet between them, tiny chest rising and falling. A social worker had come and gone, leaving behind paperwork and sympathetic smiles. The kind that said they'd seen this story before, just never with so many pieces left to put back together. Brennan pushed through the curtain with 2 steaming cups of terrible hospital coffee. "They found the van," he said quietly, handing one to Jamal. "Abandoned near the train yard. Linda wasn't in it." He didn't say what they both knew, that the back had been wiped clean with bleach, except for one thing. A single pink sneaker, placed neatly in the center of the floor. A message. A promise. Down the hall, Sarah's hospital room stood empty, the 4-line cut cleanly and the window cracked open. On the pillow lay a note in familiar handwriting, * you got one back. I kept the rest. Game's not over. * the security footage would later show her walking calmly out the emergency exit, no longer pregnant, no longer limping. Just another face in the night. It took 3 weeks for Emily to speak about what happened in that basement clinic. The police sketch artists worked for days as she described the other girls, some as young as 14, kept in what Darius called the nursery. Fed through fours. Monitored like lab rats. All with rare blood types. All carrying babies that would never be theirs. The notebook she'd hidden in her apron all those years led authorities to 2 more locations, but both had been cleared out before the raids. Only the scent of bleach and tiny scratches on the floor remained, marking where cribs had been. Jamal visited the Rusty Spoon the day it was demolished. The wrecking ball swung through the neon sign as he stood across the street, the baby, now legally named Daniel, strapped to his chest in a carrier the nurses had given him. The last crate had contained nothing but a timer and a single vial of amber liquid. The bomb squad called it a diversion. Jamal knew better. It was a signature. Someone wanted them to keep looking. At the memorial for the missing girls, Linda's photo joined the others on the makeshift wall of remembrance. Emily pinned it there herself, then placed her mother's favorite coffee mug beneath it, the one that read *World's Best Waitress* in chipped letters. The press called her brave. The cops called her a key witness. Jamal just called her after midnight sometimes, when the baby wouldn't stop crying and the weight of it all pressed too hard. They'd sit on his fire escape together, watching the city lights, not talking about how easy it would be for someone to disappear into that same darkness. The final piece came in an unmarked envelope 6 months later. No return address. Just a blurry photo of a woman who might have been Linda, standing near a bus station in Mexico, holding hands with a little girl who definitely wasn't Daniel. On the back, 3 words, *she remembers you. Emily framed it and hung it next to Daniel's crib. Some nights, when she thought no one was listening, she'd whisper stories to him about his grandmother. About diners and kindness and how the world could be cruel but also beautiful. Jamal would pretend not to hear from the next room, focusing instead on the law books Brennan had given him. He'd enrolled in community college that fall. Criminal justice. Someone had to keep fighting. The Rusty Spoons lot became a playground. Kids laughed where truckers once drank coffee. Swings creaked where the delivery door had been. And if you listen closely on quiet evenings, when the wind blows just right, some say you can still hear the clink of coffee cups and a waitress asking if you want cream with that. But that might just be the city playing tricks. After all, everyone disappears eventually. The lucky ones leave traces. End.